Here variations for a project, and you can see I've broken it down into areas: bedrooms, kitchen, general interior, exterior works. And so these variations were raised by the builder to see was he entitled for them. We're going back and forward before they get priced up, and you can see I've divided it up into description / area, unit, quantity, rate, total, and comment, and graphics. So you can see this graphic here, for example, is wall type 3, and there's a question over whether a stud should have been built to conceal protruding pipes, and because you can see void for services, this variation has already been accounted for in the bill of quantities. So you go down through them each individually, you give them an index number which relates to master bedroom, so MN1, and then you just got a dialogue that you can talk to people about it. Another one of these is the concealed cistern toilet, and you can see here this area here is actually the built up stud at the back of the toilet with a bird's eye view in the master suite. So that was already in the bill of quantities, so that's not a variation as well. Same thing here. This is slightly different here, where this stud wall wasn't included up here. It actually is down here because it wasn't in the main drawings. This stud has actually now got changed more like that. This means this stud along here wasn't done. Even there would have been percentage that would have been due to the builder one way or the other. So there's always a little bit of give and take, and in any of these, but if you treat people with dignity, you come to a good conclusion. In this scenario, it was only the form work that was actually due, rather than the tiling, the waterproof, and the membrane, and the plasterboard. That was already accounted for elsewhere. So this variation in this area is actually agreed in up above. The other battened out stud wall wasn't. So then there's a small little area that wasn't on the plans, that's agreed. Small little stud wall dividing the toilet area and the actual bathroom area. Then there's another forming a hatchway in the back bedroom, trimming the joists as an access, but this has already been included for, actually not in that area, but there was a swap from a shed / garage that had a hatchet area, so a hatch area, not hatchet, so we just swapped it out. Okay, so it was a variation, but we've now done a swap with another area. You can see this area here had to be battened out and counter battened, and it wasn't included in the drawing, so this is agreed. The other area had mini partitions, but that was already in the bill. So it's about taking the areas, finding specifications, relating them back to the drawings, showing transparency so everybody can see where and what they are, and then there's very little need for argument or disagreement. The rates are then taken from the bill of quantities, which are part of the contract, as are the specifications, as are the drawings. So you interlink all these things and cross-reference them. So you can't get variations just come and their fabrications or their on an imaginary level for what somebody wants for something. They have to be tied in specifications, drawings, the contracts, and the bill of quantities. So there is methodology, and this is about tracing that methodology. And here's a small little cost analysis of new doors versus refurbishment of doors, and there's a €65 difference. There's 8 doors, so the client may decide to go either way, and this is not a big difference. Sometimes things are a little bit more complicated, so we've decided to use the existing bill of rates for the drainage and just measure up all of this section at the end, because there's a lot of new drainages that have changed. So that is the way that you coordinate and you check variations. You cross-check them with the drawings and with the specifications back to the bill of quantities and the rates, and then I can now go to the biller and say, right, these are the items I need rates from you, and then we can check the rates against the bill of quantities. We already know the sizes. Like there's the sheds 24.1. We already know the size of these items. So that's it, guys. Thanks very